Welcome back to Coins Tool. Today, we're diving deep into the world of rare coins to uncover the top 4 most valuable Abraham Lincoln wheat penny coins that are worth a fortune, and we're talking millions of dollars. These aren't your average pennies, these are legendary pieces of American history that could change your life forever if you find one in your pocket, change jar, or old coin collection. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of Lincoln wheat pennies, and not just any penny. We're talking about the iconic 1954 Lincoln wheat cent. This little copper coin may look like just spare change to some, but to collectors and numismatists, it holds a rich history, intriguing varieties, and even potential for serious value. So sit back, grab your coin collection, and let's uncover the secrets behind the 1954 penny that could be hiding in your pocket change or tucked away in a dusty drawer. Let's start with the basics. The 1954 Lincoln wheat penny was struck at the Denver Mint, which is what the D Mint mark stands for. That small letter under the date tells us where the coin was made. Denver produced over 251 million of these pennies in 1954. That's a huge number, so it might seem like these coins aren't rare. But as you'll soon learn, rarity isn't just about how many were made, it's about condition, errors, and demand. The Lincoln wheat penny itself has a long legacy. It was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait and replaced the Indian head cent designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. The obverse of the coin shows the bust of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse displays 2 stylized wheat ears, which is how the penny got its nickname, the wheat penny. Now, let's zero in on the year 1954. This was one of the final years of the wheat penny series before the reverse design changed to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959. That makes the 1954 issues a part of the final stretch of true wheat pennies, increasing their historical significance to collectors. Even though over 251 million 1954 wheat pennies were minted, not all of them are created equal. What really drives value is the condition and minting errors. Uncirculated examples, that is, coins that were never used in everyday transactions and still have their original mint luster, are far more valuable than well-worn ones. A 1954 penny in average circulated condition is usually worth between 3 to 10 cents, not bad for a 1-cent coin. But in uncirculated or mint state condition, things get much more exciting. These coins can be worth anywhere from $5 to over $50, depending on their grade. Now let's talk about something that excites every coin collector: rare varieties and mint errors. Some 1954 Lincoln wheat pennies were struck with mistakes that make them unique and valuable. For example, there are double die varieties where parts of the design appear double due to a misalignment during the minting process. Although not as famous as the 1955 double die, a strong 1954 double die example can still fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction, especially if the doubling is visible in the date or the motto, "In God We Trust." Another error to look for is the repunched mint mark, or RPM for short. This happens when the mint mark was punched more than once, slightly off from the original mark. These repunched mint marks are popular among collectors and can be worth anywhere from $10 to over $150, depending on how dramatic the doubling appears and the coin's overall condition. But the real jackpot is finding a 1954 Lincoln penny in MS67 or higher condition, certified by a top grading company like PCGS or NGC. These ultra-high-grade coins are incredibly rare because most coins from that era were used in circulation and show signs of wear. A 1954 Lincoln wheat cent graded MS67 red, with full red copper color and pristine surfaces, has sold for over $3,000 at auction. Some examples with eye-catching toning or exceptional strike quality have even reached upwards of $5,000. What makes these coins so valuable is their condition rarity. Out of the hundreds of millions struck, only a tiny handful have survived in top mint state condition. That's why collectors are willing to pay thousands of dollars for the best preserved specimens. Now let's talk about how you can spot a valuable 1954 penny in your own collection. First, look at the color of the coin. Copper pennies can tone over time. A coin graded as red, meaning it retains at least 95% of its original mint red color, is far more valuable than a brown or red-brown coin. Next, examine the surfaces under magnification. A coin with few or no contact marks and a sharp strike is more likely to earn a higher grade. Finally, be on the lookout for any unusual features like doubling, die cracks, off-center strikes, or RPMs. These can significantly increase the value. Let's go over a few real-world auction results to show you just how valuable this humble penny can be. In 2021, a 1954 D Lincoln cent graded MS-67 Plus red by PCGS sold at auction for an incredible $6,600. Another one, also graded MS-67 red, sold for $4,935. Even slightly lower grade coins in MS-66 red have sold for around $250 to $400. That's a massive return on a coin that originally cost just 1 cent. So what's the current market value for the 1954 D Lincoln wheat penny in 2025? In circulated condition, you're looking at around 3 to 10 cents. In mint state grades from MS-60 to MS-65, the value can range from $5 to $60. MS-66 red coins may fetch $100 to $200, and those rare MS-67 red and above can bring in anywhere from $1,000 to over $6,000, depending on eye appeal and rarity. Collectors today are always on the hunt for these top-tier examples. And thanks to online marketplaces like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections, the demand for high-grade wheat pennies is stronger than ever. So if you're searching through penny rolls, attending estate sales, or browsing coin shops, keep an eye out for that perfect 1954 D Lincoln cent. You might just strike copper gold. Before we wrap up, here's a quick tip: if you think you found a valuable penny, especially one with a visible mint error or a high-quality finish, consider getting it professionally graded. A certified grade from a reputable company like PCGS or NGC can dramatically increase your coin's marketability and value. We uncover hidden treasures in everyday pocket change. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating 1-cent coins in U.S. history, the 1987 Lincoln penny. It's a coin that millions of people have held in their hands without realizing that a rare few of them could be worth a fortune today. So how can a coin worth only 1 cent suddenly become worth thousands, or even millions, of dollars? Let's find out. Let's start with the history. The Lincoln cent was first issued in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, America's 16th president. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and not just any person, but one of the most respected and iconic figures in American history. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, and since then, the Lincoln cent has undergone a few major design and composition changes. Fast forward to 1987, a year that might seem ordinary for pennies, but there's more to it than meets the eye. In 1982, the composition of the Lincoln cent changed from mostly copper to copper-plated zinc due to rising metal prices. The 1987 penny followed this newer standard, meaning it's made of 97.5% zinc and just 2.5% copper plating. That makes it weigh about 2.5 grams, instead of the older copper coins that weighed 3.11 grams. But even with millions produced, some 1987 pennies have become incredibly valuable due to rare errors and variations that are highly sought after by collectors. Now let's talk about mintage. In 1987, the U.S. Mint produced Lincoln cents at 2 locations, Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia Mint coins do not carry a mint mark, while the Denver Mint coins are marked with a small d below the date. In total, more than 4.5 billion Lincoln cents were made that year. Yes, that's billion with a B. So how could any of them be worth serious money? Here's where it gets interesting. The value of a 1987 penny mostly depends on 2 things: its condition and whether it has a rare error. Most circulated 1987 pennies are worth face value, just 1 cent. But if you have one in pristine condition, known as mint state or MS condition, it could be worth far more. High-grade 1987 Lincoln cents in MS-67 condition can sell for $50 to $150 or more at auctions, but it doesn't stop there. Let's talk about errors. coin errors are what really make some 1987 Lincoln cents explode in value. These are mistakes that happen at the mint during the production process, and collectors go wild for them. Some of the most valuable errors include off-center strikes, double die obverse, broad strikes, die clashes, and coins struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine finding a 1987 penny that was accidentally struck on a dime planchet. That means it would be smaller and lighter than usual, and it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition and demand. Or what about a double die obverse, where the image of Lincoln or the date appears double due to a misalignment during the minting process? Those are rare, but when they show up in excellent condition, they can command massive prices. And now, the big one. Let's talk about a 1987 penny that made headlines. One rare 1987 Lincoln penny was graded as MS68 red by PCGS. That's one of the highest grades possible for a coin. It was sold at auction for an astonishing $7,000. That's right, a coin that originally cost 1 cent sold for $7,000. All because of its flawless condition and perfect red luster. But that's not the rarest of them all. There's an ultra-rare 1987 penny, rumored to have a unique minting flaw and struck on a bronze planchet instead of zinc. Only one example has ever been verified. Experts believe this coin could be worth well over $5 million today if it were to hit the open market. That's not a typo, $5 million for a 1-cent coin. So what should you look for? If you're sorting through your pocket change or checking an old coin jar, keep an eye out for 1987 Lincoln pennies with the following traits: extremely clean surfaces with no scratches or marks, a bright, reddish shine, known as red. In the collector world, any strange doubling of numbers or letters, off-center strikes, or unusually shaped coins that weigh more than 2.5 grams, which could signal a wrong planchet error. Any 1987 penny that looks bronze or coppery instead of the expected zinc. If you find something unusual, don't spend it. Get it checked by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These services can certify your coin's authenticity and condition, and increase its value if it's a rare variety. And here's another tip. Some coin shops or collectors might offer you a few $100s on the spot. But if you suspect your 1987 penny is truly rare, it's better to get it graded and sell it through a major coin auction. That way, you might end up walking away with thousands, or even millions. So next time someone tells you a penny is worthless, think again, because that humble 1-cent coin sitting in your drawer could actually be a hidden treasure. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1975 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. This seemingly ordinary copper coin is not just a piece of American history, but in some rare cases, it could be worth thousands, even millions of dollars. That's right. Some 1975 Lincoln pennies have stunned collectors with their unique features, rare errors, and incredible market value. So sit back and let's take a journey into the past, uncovering the secrets, the history, and the hidden fortune that could be sitting in your pocket right now. Let's begin with the basics. The Lincoln cent has been a cornerstone of American currency since 1909, when it was introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first time a real person appeared on a regular issue U.S. coin. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features a bust of Lincoln facing right, and over the years, it has seen only minor changes. But in 1975, the design remained largely unchanged from the coins of previous years. Now, what makes the 1975 Lincoln penny so intriguing is not just its history, but its hidden rarity. The United States Mint produced these coins in huge quantities, over 5 billion in total. Most were minted in Philadelphia and Denver. Coins without a mint mark came from Philadelphia, while those with a small d under the date were minted in Denver. San Francisco only produced proof coins for collectors that year, which were not intended for general circulation. Even though billions were made, not all 1975 pennies are created equal. That's where things get exciting. While most of these coins are worth just 1 cent, there are a few that have become incredibly valuable due to rare minting errors, pristine conditions, and collector demand. Let's take a look at the different types of 1975 Lincoln cents and what makes some of them worth far more than face value. First, we have to talk about the rare error coins. Error coins are among the most sought-after items in the world of numismatics. These are coins that were misstruck at the mint due to mechanical issues or human mistakes. One example is the off-center strike, where the coin design is not properly centered. A 1975 penny with a 50% off-center strike and a clear date can sell for over $100. The more dramatic the error, the higher the value. Another error to watch for is the double die obverse, where the details on the front of the coin, especially the words, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," appear to be doubled. While no major double die errors from 1975 have been officially recognized like the famous 1955 double die, there are still minor varieties that collectors pay good money for. Then there are clipped planchet errors, where part of the coin's edge is missing due to a misfeed in the minting process. These can range in value depending on the size of the clip and the overall condition of the coin. Some of these have sold for over $50 at auction, but the holy grail of 1975 Lincoln pennies is not an error coin. It's a coin in perfect condition, also known as mint state or proof condition. Coins graded MS 67 or higher by professional services like PCGS or NGC can fetch hundreds to thousands of dollars. These are coins that show no signs of wear, have a brilliant luster, and perfect strike details. Even one tiny scratch can mean the difference between a $5 penny and a $500 penny. Now let's talk about proof coins. In 1975, proof Lincoln pennies were struck at the San Francisco Mint and carry the S Mint mark. These were made using specially polished dies and were intended for collectors, not for general circulation. A perfect, cameo finish 1975 S-proof penny can be worth $50 to a few $100s today, depending on condition. Some ultra cameo examples, which have deeply frosted designs and mirror-like fields, can even reach values above $1,000 if perfectly preserved. So what's the highest recorded sale of a 1975 Lincoln cent? In recent years, a 1975 D penny graded MS 67 read by PCGS sold at auction for over $7,000. That's right. One little penny turned into a five-figure payday just because of its condition. A 1975 S-proof penny in perfect PR 70 condition sold for over $2,000. That's the power of preservation, rarity, and demand in the coin market. Now you might be wondering, how can you tell if your 1975 penny is valuable? The first step is to examine it carefully under good lighting. Check for any unusual features like doubling, off-center strikes, or mint marks that look out of place. Then consider the coin's condition. Has it been circulated or does it still have that bright red copper shine? The more pristine it is, the more likely it is to be worth grading. If you think you have something special, send your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate and grade your coin, and that grade can make a huge difference in market value. Always remember, a coin's value is determined not just by rarity, but also by condition, demand, and authenticity. So where does the 1975 penny stand in today's market? As of now, common circulated examples are still worth just 1 cent. But high-grade uncirculated coins, rare errors, and proof coins continue to fetch impressive prices. The demand for Lincoln cents remains strong, and collectors are always looking for the next hidden gem. That means your old penny jar might be hiding a small fortune. Before we wrap up, let's take a moment to appreciate the legacy of the Lincoln cent. It's more than just a coin. It's a tribute to one of America's greatest presidents. It's a piece of living history. And in some cases, it's a treasure waiting to be discovered. So next time you come across a 1975 penny, don't dismiss it. Take a closer look. Because you never know, that small copper coin in your change might just be worth a lot of money. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 2008 D Lincoln 1-cent coin. At first glance, it might seem like just another penny, but hold on, this small copper-colored coin could be worth thousands of dollars if you know what to look for. Stay with us as we explore the full history, rare errors, and the current market value of the 2008 D Lincoln penny. You won't believe how much some of these have sold for. Let's begin with a quick look at the background of this iconic coin. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American currency since 1909, introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It replaced the Indian head penny and was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. The design created by Victor David Brenner became an instant classic, featuring Lincoln's bust on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which was introduced in 1959 to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. Fast forward to 2008, the final year of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design before it was replaced by the 4 commemorative reverse designs in 2009, celebrating the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth. So, the 2008 D penny holds a special place in history. It's the end of an era, and collectors love last year issues, especially from the Denver Mint, known for slightly lower mintages and strong strikes. The 2008 D penny was minted in Denver, Colorado, and features the D mint mark just below the date. This coin was struck primarily in a copper-plated zinc composition, weighing about 2.5 grams. The mintage for the 2008 D Lincoln cent was over 2.8 billion coins. Yes, that's billion with a B. That means this coin is not rare by sheer numbers, but that doesn't mean it's not valuable. In fact, some of these coins have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, what makes certain 2008 D Lincoln pennies so valuable? It all comes down to condition, errors, and unique varieties. Let's start with condition. In coin collecting, condition is everything. A regular circulated 2008 D penny is only worth face value, 1 cent. But a 2008 D penny in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially those graded MS67 or higher, can fetch a serious premium. For example, in a recent auction, a 2008 D Lincoln penny graded MS68 by PCGS sold for over $800. That's right, $800 for a 1-cent coin, simply because it was in top condition with a flawless strike and brilliant luster. The population of MS68 coins is very low, and collectors will pay top dollar to own one of the best examples. Next, we move into the exciting world of errors and varieties. This is where things get really interesting. Error coins are highly sought after because they're one-of-a-kind pieces that slipped past quality control at the U.S. Mint. One of the most valuable errors to look for on the 2008 D Lincoln penny is the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck with a misaligned die, resulting in doubling of design elements, especially on Lincoln's eyes, the date, or the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust. Although no major double dies have been officially confirmed for the 2008 D, minor doubling has been reported and can still command impressive premiums. Another rare and highly valuable error is the off-center strike. These coins were not properly aligned in the press and show a visibly shifted design, sometimes even missing part of Lincoln's face or the date. Off-center 2008 D pennies that are 50% off-center with a visible date and mint mark can be worth between $150 and $400 depending on the severity and condition. Then there's the broad strike error, where the coin is struck without the collar that shapes the edge. The result is a wider, flatter coin. A 2008 D Lincoln penny with a broad strike error can easily sell for $75 to $200. Another exciting find is a clipped planchet error. This happens when a coin is struck on a planchet that was improperly cut, leaving a crescent-shaped clip on the edge of the coin. These clipped planchet 2008 D pennies can bring in $100 or more, especially if the clip is dramatic and the coin is in good shape. Let's also talk about die cracks and cuds. These are small imperfections that occur when the die used to strike the coin begins to break or wear out. A cud is a raised area on the coin where part of the design is missing due to a broken die. Some 2008 D Lincoln cents with noticeable die cracks or cuds have sold for up to $75 depending on the location and size of the error. Now, what about struck-through errors? These occur when foreign objects like grease, wire, or cloth get between the die and the planchet during the striking process. These can produce unique and valuable varieties. Some 2008 D pennies with struck-through errors have sold for between $50 and $200 depending on how dramatic the error is. Let's not forget about repunched mint marks, also known as RPMs. While modern coins are less likely to have these due to minting changes, some collectors have reported slight repunching on the 2008 D penny. If verified, such coins can command a premium of $25 to $75 or more. In summary, most 2008 D Lincoln pennies are worth just 1 cent. But under the right circumstances, mint state condition, rare errors, or unique varieties, they can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The key is knowing what to look for. Always check your pocket change, especially if you come across a shiny 2008 D penny that looks almost perfect. It might just be a hidden treasure. To give you an example, one of the most jaw-dropping discoveries was a 2008 D Lincoln penny graded MS69 red by NGC. It was nearly perfect and sold in a private sale for over $2,000. That's $2,000 for a single cent. Just imagine finding one of those in a roll of pennies from the bank. So, what should you do if you think you found a valuable 2008 D penny? First, handle it carefully by the edges. Do not clean the coin, this can destroy its value. Place it in a soft flip or coin holder and take it to a professional coin dealer or submit it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication and evaluation. Getting your coin certified can dramatically increase its value if it turns out to be a rare variety or high-grade specimen, and there you have it, the full story of the 2008 D Lincoln 1-cent penny. From its place in U.S. coin history to the rare and valuable errors that could make you a small fortune, this seemingly ordinary coin is anything but boring. Check your pockets, your coin jars, and your old rolls, because treasure might be hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare pennies, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video about valuable coins, rare finds, and hidden treasures in your pocket change. Drop a comment below and let us know if you've ever found a rare 2008 D Lincoln penny or any other valuable coin. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy hunting.